Alright, welcome to this live stream. We're going to fill up the cooling system. We just did a radiator in this. For those of you guys who watched that, great. Now we're going to go ahead and fill it up. So I've got a couple tools here to show you on what the best way to do that is. Professionally, there's a couple ways we do it. Rather than just dump coolant down the radiator, there's other ways we can do it without making such a mess. So what I have here is a tool from Lyle Tools, that's a spill-free funnel. And it comes with a bunch of adapters that allows you to hook it up to the radiator. You gotta find the right cap connection. This is probably the right one. I just need a cap. Something like this. Looks like it. You find the right one that fits, that makes this snug. This is snug now. And then you put the funnel on here. And now what it allows you to do is you run the car while you pour coolant in there. And then once it's full, it'll stay. Once it's hot, the radiator's run, the thermostat is opened. You just plug it like that, take it off. Not much will come out of here. What I usually do is I'll squeeze the radiator hose, then plug it, and then pull this up, and it'll just, what I squeeze will go down, and it doesn't spill over. So that's an excellent way to fill it up, but you have to run it. Oh, look, my pliers. They're doing the clamps. Alright, so I'm not going to use that today, just showing you how that worked. What I'm going to use today is called the airlift, which is a much better way of doing this. Basically, you push this down in here, you tighten this up, you make it so it's snug, and there's different adapters that come with it. And I seem to be missing a piece. I guess I'm not going to be able to use this because I'm missing a piece. I'm missing the piece that hooks on and blows and sucks the air out of it. Oh, anyways, there's an adapter that goes on here. I guess I'm going to use in the funnel. There's an adapter that goes on here that pulls a vacuum. Pulls a vacuum. Then you switch it over, and then you fill it up. I guess we're going to be doing this the old-fashioned way of filling it with the funnel. It's going to take a little longer, that's all. A lot longer than I thought it was going to. But this is going to be a nice, short, quick video. The thing I like about the vacuum is that it will pull a vacuum on everything. No air pockets. And just fill it up straight with coolant. But I guess that's not going to happen today. Alright, let's get all the stuff that's floating in here out. Now with this, you have to get it hot. The engine has to get hot. I've got 1 gallon of distilled water and 1 gallon of straight coolant. Now, the way I was going to do this was I was going to fill it up in this bucket down here and just suck it in. Now I've got a mix of flavors here. So the best way to do this, I think, is to pour half the water out of this. Even though this costs money. Pour half a gallon out of this. Add a half gallon of this. And that's my mix. A little greener than I remembered it. Usually I thought this was more yellow. This car takes Motorcraft yellow coolant. Now usually it's light. I thought it was lighter than this, but I guess I was wrong. I thought it was more yellow. It's still yellowish. It's just got a green tint. It's the same coolant. There's only 3 types of coolant. You've got the old stuff, which only lasts about 2 years. What's the graduation on this thing? This thing doesn't have a graduation? This thing doesn't have a graduation. Guess I'm going to have to guesstimate half a gallon. Oh. 3 types of coolant. There's 2-year stuff, which nobody uses anymore. 5-year stuff, which is what this stuff is, and what the gold Motorcraft stuff is. That's about half. And then there's organic stuff, which is Dexcool, which is the same stuff as the orange Motorcraft stuff. So you never want to put the orange Motorcraft stuff in this, and you definitely don't want to put this in an orange one, especially in a diesel where it's got the anti-cavitation stuff in it. To keep the cylinder wars from pitting from the inside. I mean, inside the engine. And I would just use the Motorcraft stuff for that. I wouldn't use Dexcool for that. Because I'm not sure if it has the additive in there for that stuff. But otherwise, this stuff is the same as most manufacturers use. For that stuff. So we're still filling. What we want to do is we want to keep the funnel full while we let it warm up. Tripod doesn't really want to cooperate with me. You can see it. And that's a full gallon. That might be enough to fill it. Now what we have here is about a half a gallon of straight. So what I'll do is I'll prepare this in case we need to add more. If not, we'll use it next time. This is just water, so we don't have to be too gentle with it. Distilled water, like I said. Now, because I've added coolant to this, or water and coolant to this, it's no longer straight. Keep a track. You never know when I'm going to need coolant again. It could be now, it could be 6 months from now. I will take my marker, and I will write 50 on here. And then I know it's ready for use. Now, I prefer to buy it this way and mix it myself, because it's cheaper to buy a gallon of coolant and a gallon of distilled water. Now, don't think for a second this is all going to go to waste. The thermostat will open, it will probably go down more, and then I got to fill up the overflow too. What I need it to do is get hot. Do something crazy. I'm going to go ahead and crank up the heat. This will leave the AC on. I'm going to go ahead and raise the idle a little bit too. I'll warm it up a little faster. I want to be careful when you do it this way though, because when you rev it up like this, sometimes it'll suck coolant down into the funnel. When you release it, it's going to burp it back out. And it's gonna tell me how many miles I have left. I need to get gas, obviously. So this is the other way to fill up the car. This is not the way I prefer. But when you've got missing tools for whatever reason, it's got to be in the cabinet somewhere. This is what you have to do. You can see the coolant's already up halfway. Not getting any heat at all. This thing must be... Yeah, this thing must have a lot of air in the... evaporator for heater core. I'm not getting any heat at all, and yet I'm already halfway warmed up. I'm not getting any heat. Let's see what we got. We've got pulled up a radiator hose. Oh, there it goes. Thermostat must have just opened because it went from being cold to being warm. The thermostat must have just opened. See if the temperature gauge went down a little bit. The thermostat opened. Should. Yeah, a little bit. Rev it up about 15 to 2,000 RPMs. You want to be 3,000 RPM. You don't want to whiz the motor around too high. Even 2,000 RPMs is a little high. Just trying to get the energy into the engine. The heat energy into the engine. Warm it up faster, because otherwise you'll be there for hours. You let it just idle, it takes a long time. Go ahead and turn the AC off. Some cars don't bleed out all the way when you do it this way. I have a feeling what's going on here. I'm still not hot coming out there, and I'm hot on the temperature gauge. It may burp itself out when you drive it. It's starting to get warmer. It may burp itself out as you drive it. You may have to jack the front of the car up. You may have to pull a vacuum using that tool, the airlift. Most likely cause for an overheat right after you did work on the cooling system is an air bubble. You didn't get all the air out of it. I'm not making that up. That's an actual ASE question. It comes up all the time. That's why you want to let it run. You want to let the fan cycle. If you do that, you're going to at least get the air bubbles out of the engine itself. You may not be able to get the air bubble out of the heater core. And that may come out on its own as you drive it. Now, when you fill up the overflow tank, or if you have a surge tank, when you're finished, fill it up to the hot point, the highest level, and drive it, and it will probably come down. It's already going to be hot anyways. So here we go. Heidi, stop. Dog's talking to another dog. Upper radiator hose is hot. Get these heater hoses. That one's hot. That one's cool. Look at how it routes. Definitely probably has air in it. Yep, you hear that? I'm squeezing the lower line, and bubbles are coming out. Alright, now it's getting warm. Now it's getting warm. I got a flow now. See any warmth coming out yet. That's a little better. There we go. There's the heat. Never tried that before. I just squeezed the lower line, that was cool, and air bubbles started coming out. And boom. I've now got hot air coming out of my register. So all I did was just give it a little squeeze. Must have burped it out. Got a little bit of flow. Once you get a little bit of flow, the air will just burp out. It's hot now. Okay, that's cool. That's hot. Radiator hose hot. Cooling fan's not on yet. You see, my liquid went down quite a bit. See, it looks more yellow than green now. It's mixing with the stuff that's in the engine, which is what this coolant is meant to do. It's meant to take up the dye of the stuff that's in the engine. So if you have blue coolant and you use this stuff, it will become more blue. That's getting nice and hot on the upper radiator hose. Basically just waiting for the cooling fan to cycle now. Once the cooling fan cycles, you know the engine's up as hot as it'll get without harming it. Oh yeah, those hoses are nice and hot now. No more bubbles. Can't be afraid to feel around an engine. Now, you want to be careful. There is some really hot stuff that you should not touch ever, like the exhaust. When it comes to things like coolant lines, even if they're hot, if you touch it, you'll feel it's hot. Get your hand off of it. Like this is red hot right here on the upper radiator hose. So obviously, if I keep my hand there, I'm an idiot. But I can feel it. Same thing with those lower hoses. Just don't get your hand stuck somewhere where it's going to be, you know, up against something hot and stay there. Got a new radiator cap coming. I just changed the radiator. I'm going to go ahead and change the cap too. I don't have a test adapter for this size. I don't think I do. I guess I do. So this cap is 18.5 pounds. So that means when I pump it up, it should open at 18.5 pounds. Seems to be popping off around 19. But it should also hold. It should also hold when it's not. It means this gasket's no good. Or this valve gasket's not good. That'll also cause the radiator to go bad. If you don't have proper pressure, it'll overheat it, cause it to go boom. Go ahead and rev it up some more. It's warm in here. Summer months it sucks to do this stuff because you got to have the heat on. When you're doing air conditioning stuff, it's not so bad because at least you can just make it cooler. When you're doing this stuff, you have to have the heat on. Properly bleed it out. Now I could turn the airflow down. Still have the heat on. I just have the airflow down to 1 instead of blasting on. That'll also help keep the warm the carpet a little faster too. But you have to keep the heat on to get the flow because sometimes you turn the heat off, the water valve shuts off, coolant control valve shuts off, and it'll stop flowing water through the heater coil. So you have to have the heat on. Open it up to allow the flow to go through. A lot of cars don't use those anymore. But you never know. You see it's going down a little bit. The fan came on. Coolant temperature went down a hair. Usually means it's cycled a little bit. Cooling fan may not come on. I don't know how long this radiator was leaking. It never overheated on me. So this engine may not run that hot to begin with. It's a tiny engine. So it might just be enough to cool down, enough to flow through without any airflow. I wouldn't be all that surprised, because again, it never overheated. So it's been a while now, so I think we're going to call it done. We're just going to, we know there's no air in it. We know that we flowed it enough to get the heater core. So we're going to go ahead and end this now. Certain cars you want to make sure the fan comes on, like a Honda. This car, not so important. It'll burp itself out now from now. Now what I'm doing is I'm squeezing this hose, the upper radiator hose, releasing it. I plugged it. So now when I take this off, you'll notice that my level is lower. And I'll tap it. I got a new radiator cap coming. I hope that'll be changed by tomorrow morning. I'm not going to make a video for that. But now what I'll do is I'll take the rest of my coolant and I'll fill up my overflow bottle. Because that was low. And now we'll check it. Now we'll check to see where we're at, and we can use a little more. We're going to bring her up to the hot. Try not to spill it all over the place like it's doing. You suck. Funnel would have helped. That's the hot mark right there. See how yellow that looks? Okay, we still have quite a bit of coolant here. Let's take this, rinse off. We did the radiator, it was leaking, so we'll do this too. And that's the end of that. Store this. That's it for now. Throw these in the garbage. I'm gonna have to throw this out soon. I'm gonna have to empty this soon. That's it. That's filling up the cooling system. The long way. The easy way would have been to use the vacuum. It would have been done 20 minutes ago. That was the long way to do it. That's really it. Like, subscribe. Check out my t-shirt store. Looking for more ideas, some more t-shirts there. Yeah, I should do some of the radiator. I don't know. Oh. Save one of these. The coolant I got out of it will go in that, and it'll get sent down to the recycling center. Disposed of properly. That's really it. Thanks for watching. Again, like us, look at the back of my shirt. Thanks for watching, and enjoy.